Okay.
Do we need the other recorder, or we don't need that?
It's not charged. So.
Oh, okay. I don't miss it.
I did charge it, but the battery is like going out.
It's old.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Oakland Mills Community Association Village Board of Directors. We're going to start with our administrative items, the first being approval of the minutes from the March 10th, 2026 board meeting. Is there a motion to approve? I'll take a motion from Andrew. Is there a second? I'll take that thumbs up from Dan as a second. Is there any discussion of those minutes? All in favor of approving? 1, 2, 3. Dan, that's an in favor of approving, not a raised hand to make comments, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thumbs up. All right. So that's a 4-0-0.
You have to define these emojis, you know.
I know. I'm like, because he did both. So I thought, was he saying, wait, I have something to say or what? Now he's really going overboard with the thumbs up. Paulette's going crazy with it too. It's just going to be a very positive evening.
It puts your name next to your phone. That's funny.
If you have your camera turned on,
Yes,
not
we
the,
do.
it'll, Legacy doesn't, but it'll recognize like if you actually just physically raise your hand instead of
All right. Next, approve agenda for tonight's board meeting. Is there a motion? I'll take a motion from Andrew. Is there a second to approve tonight's agenda? I'll take a second from the floating thumb. Whoa!
Whoa! Oh my gosh! What was that?
Cool Disco Dan has enthusiastically seconded the motion made by Andrew. All right, any discussion of tonight's agenda? Okay, all in favor of approving? 1, 2, 3,
I want to see it again.
4.
Who did that?
You know what makes it confusing though? Like when Paulette gave the thumbs up, it did it on her screen, but then the floating thumb went over Dan's screen, but it said Paulette on it.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
I know. I'm still trying to figure out the Atari 2600 game. All right, we are underway. Bill's not here to hear that, but we are underway. Resident remarks. We don't have any residents in the room. Is anyone online interested in making remarks for up to 3 minutes to the board? All right, we will zoom right through that and get right to new business. So it's my pleasure to welcome back once again Marty Altmans, our projects liaison from CA, with our sort of kind of monthly CA update. I think it's like monthly to every 6 weeks or so now, right?
Yeah, it's about every 6 weeks is what we've got going on right now. Which one do you want me to control?
This one.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everybody. So a little bit shorter. We're at that time of year right now where it's a little bit less going on, and we're about to kick off everything coming up for the summer. Just
Double clicked.
double
There's also this
There we go.
page number things.
Oh, there we go. So we'll start off there with some program highlights from February. On the 18th, we had our multicultural program hosted a new guest around the world story time featuring a Sudanese musician, and he did Nubian folk tunes in celebration of Africa, and it was pretty well attended. On February 21st, our team at the fitness clubs did an 8-hour barbell intensive workshop to support elevating all of their coaching skills and support growing member interest in strength training. Personal training instructors and group fitness trainers trained together, building alignment across all the 3 fitness facilities to enhance their ability to coach barbell fundamentals and advanced lifts with confidence and safety. I talked about this last time I was here as one of the upcoming events for everybody to sign up for, but on February 3rd, Columbia Gym partnered with the Stop the Bleed initiative and hosted a free bleeding control training class at the facility. More than 20 community members participated in hands-on training, which was open to both members and non-members. Each participant received a Stop the Bleed kit to take home and equip them with the life-saving tools and confidence to respond in emergency. Continuing the heart-focused theme, Supreme Sports Club partnered with the American Red Cross on February 20th to host a community blood drive, and the efforts resulted in 32 pints of blood collected, including 8 first-time donors, and I was one of those that chose to give that day. So it was really easy and really nice. So next time one of those comes up, if you ever want to donate, it's in and out in 30 minutes, no questions asked. Easy to do. For Women's History Month, Columbia, Maryland Archives created a landing page of 8 online exhibits to highlight some of the stories and accomplishments women in Columbia have made to shape the community's history. And if you've not been to the archives page recently, Erin has been doing an amazing job of uploading online exhibits. My favorite one of recent is, if you didn't know anything about the zoo downtown, they have a petting zoo down by Meriwether, and they have a ton of photos and cool stuff to go back and look at from that. The Columbia Art Center currently is showcase just kicking off a visionary women showcase from 80 local female artists inspired by the themes Reservoir of Strength. This exhibit will be held annually in March to celebrate National Women's History Month and will be on display from March 12th to April 12th with a reception on March 14th. So get over to the upgraded Art Center to check out. Some construction highlights. Sustainability team work with Howard County Equal Works to remove a large invasive autumn olive in King's Contrivance near the village center. Over half an acre they removed. And then planning began for the Lake Alcorn Walkable Pollinator Garden and Bioretention Facility at Broken Lane Parkway with a grant from the Chesapeake Bay Trust to cover the funds for that event, or that new garden. They continue to push the Smart Salt program during the winter. In addition to that, Open Space purchased their own brine tank to store 6,000 gallons of brine at the Community Operations Center. Until now, they had to travel to Baltimore to pick up the product, and now they can make it in-house and store it at the Community Ops Center for our weather events, and will reduce our greenhouse gas footprint. Capital improvements work closely with Hickory Ridge Village Board and stakeholders to finalize the design and planning for 2 of their play areas, and the installation is planned for this summer. And capital improvement staff began fabrication and installation of the Lake Heller Dam Bridge, and if you've been driving by, they are doing a ton of work for the new bridge after the car accident there that took out the bridge a while back. Right here in Opal Mills, they've got a Save Point of Pride. With the excitement of the Winter Olympics, the Columbia Ice Rink had a busy February. The most recent session of Learn to Skate had an all-time high of 692 participants, and the ice rink hosted its inaugural Winter's Game event featuring family-friendly versions of Olympic events such as bobsled, biathlon, speed skating, hockey, figure skating, curling, ski jumping, and photo opportunities with Blaze, the new Zamboni that went into service in November. Pictured here is Miss Pat, who's a figure at the ice rink and has been with the skate program forever. She was featured in an article recently in the Baltimore Banner for her impact on the ice skating in the Columbia community. Our land administration team will be representing the Columbia Association at Howard County Transportation Open House, demonstrating CA's public resources, as well as highlighting our Pathway Forward, an action plan for the Columbia Pathways. In partnership with the U.S. Department of Energy and Marine Manufacturing Company, CA's Community Operations Center is serving as a test site for cutting-edge cold climate air conditioning unit to test that out for the giant building there. The sustainability team is co-hosting a networking group meeting alongside the Howard County Office of Sustainability with 60 attendees representing several local environmental groups. And Shelby Willis and Nancy McConish from the ceramics team at the Art Center have been diligent in the debt of our new gas kiln that everybody's been asking for. They've been doing test runs, documenting the process, taking photos, and strategically placing test pieces in the kiln to observe the results and sharing the results with the team. The new kiln will be a valuable asset to the Art Center's offering and to the community. And this was a big request of one of the last budgets, was getting that replaced for the Art Center. So that is almost ready to launch. And our finance team achieved 2 clean audits, both the financial and 401k. The 401k audit also had 0 management comments, which is a really big deal in the audit world. A couple events, we just talked about this one, but the event at the Art Center is kicking off right now. So get over and check it out if you've not been over there. If you've not been over to the swim center recently, they've got a few schools out splashdown events upcoming. And the Wibbits, which had gone away for a few years and only been at Hawthorne Pool during the summers, are now back on Sundays at the swim center in the main pool for Swibbit Sundays. And then my daughter on St. Patrick's Day is getting huge with her best buddy, the Monster, our puppy. And that's all I've got. And that was the other night.
Was that on a storm night?
That was on right before the storm came on about 2 weeks ago in Ellicott City. From when I was out walking the dog. Got that. So yeah, that was everybody had their photo out. You had about 5 minutes where it looked really pretty, and then it got really dark really quick right before the storm came in.
You timed it perfectly then.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's all I've got. It's a little bit of a slow month, but I'm sure next time I'm back, we will have the full Wake Fest live and everything coming for the summer to talk about.
There was something about brine that it's going to cut down on greenhouse gas emissions. Is that like just stuff they add to
No, it's just from them driving, having to constantly drive the big CA trucks down.
Is that like, do they add that to the lakes?
No, it's what they put on the roads. It's like the pre-treatment, so they don't have to use salt. As much salt, so they do that. They started doing that to some of the main,
salt.
So,
but it's less salt.
But it's less, and and it's diluted, and then they put it down, and it sticks to the pathway. Road, they've started doing that on the main paths of the pathways.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Cool. Any other questions for Marty? I have one. I don't even know that you're the person to answer this one. I just picked up some terminology. What is cold climate air conditioning? I expect my air conditioning to be cold all the time.
So I asked this question and I wasn't able to get it. It's some type of new way it's like an experimental unit that the way it works, and Jeremy would be able to explain it better, but it saves energy and pushes the air differently on how the parts work. But we were selected because of the size of that building and all the different compartments that it was picked because of that and the amount of energy it uses, that it would save energy, and it's kind of being used as a test. But we had to apply and got selected, and the green stuff, or green energy group is working with that.
Now I have something to Google later.
Yep.
I never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, Jeremy would do a much better job of explaining it, but he was pretty excited about it.
Do you know how they're feeling over at the ice rink about the new ice rinks that are going to be built? Is that going to take some pressure off of them, or?
I have not heard yet, because I have not heard for sure they're being built. All I heard was there was an announcement. There was an announcement that they want to build two. I have not heard that there was funding or anything set aside for it.
I read today, I think that they're asking for 3.1 million in the next budget. I think it is. In May's budget, 3-point-something million for the feasibility study and plans, etc.
I still think it's a ways off, unfortunately. But I think CA would welcome any. I know we've been asking for money every year for the last few years to replace the slab under the ice rink, but they've been kind of waiting, because I think over in Laurel or somewhere they were going to build a new ice rink for a while, and we've been waiting to do that construction until a new Howard County ice rink opens, so that way our teams can all move there, we can do our maintenance, and then we can reopen, and there would be 2 sheets of ice. So I know that news came to me as a surprise when I was reading all about Howard County and all the ice people applying for it, but I don't, from what I got was it's a feasibility study, then once they get that, so it's not coming anytime soon, I don't think.
I'll hold my thoughts until something actually happens.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So it is exciting news. Anytime anything moves forward is good news for the community, especially when right now this is the only sheet of ice around, and I know it is scheduled from the moment it opens to the moment it closes, and the hockey
over 600 people at that last one. I was like, wow.
So you pack 600 in there, no one can fall down.
Just hold on to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So anytime you can get anybody to start talking about what needs to be done, and I think they picked a nice location over there. So, but until the feasibility studies come and they have a cost and there's money set aside, like everybody else,
We're not going to celebrate.
Yeah, we're not going to. I don't think anybody's going to celebrate until they know for sure there's a shovel in the ground. But I haven't paid attention to it.
And did you close with the photo of your daughter?
I did.
Yes.
I missed
Yeah, you missed it.
We need to go back to that.
There you go.
She's getting big. That's St. Patrick's Day. Getting ready for the puppy. She is huge. She is 97th for height.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
She is a big 2-year-old.
Wow. That is cool.
Getting ready for the puppy?
That's the puppy.
Oh, okay.
He's only 2 too.
That's what I thought. When you said
There's
getting ready
great
for the
for
puppy,
two.
I was
No,
like,
getting ready to play with the puppy.
okay, getting ready to play with the puppy.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
They're only a few months apart.
Funny.
Wow.
They're best buddies though. That's all I got. Like I said,
All
it's
right,
a little bit
Marty.
shorter update.
Thank you very much.
And I'll hang out until you guys are done.
Okay.
Do you need anything for me to take back to Sean or anybody? Just let me know.
All right.
All right, we're on to Brigida's presentation of the draft fiscal 27 OMCA budget, which is in your email and in your packet.
Pull it up in just a minute.
Marty, I was like, because I coach girls soccer, I closed at about 5:07, but I'm down by my house and get all the stuff back in the house and then up here, that's why I was late. So it's working hard.
So you all received a copy and you have a copy in the packet, and I believe someone requested lines last year, which is why I put the grid lines in. Hopefully that's not distracting. So I pulled out the items that had, keep on doing that, had significant changes in it from last year. And so I kind of provided an explanation sheet. Under revenues, line 2 for lease and rental, I had mentioned to you that CA was doing some designs for Talbot Springs, which I had sent to you as well for review. And in speaking with Josh, it looks like once they, if the designs go, okay, all the questions are answered, then they will put in for permits, and then once they receive the permit, they have to bid, because it's over a certain amount, so they have to put out a bid for it. And he said that they'd like to get it started by fall, which is what prompted me to make the lease line lower, because I don't know what's going to happen with that renovation and how it's going to affect the lease that we currently have. That runs from September 1st through August, through the end of August. As far as expenses, under staff salaries, I did budget in a 3% cost of living increase for each returning employee. As far as fees, per the new management contract, aside from having an audit every 3 years, we now have to have a financial review. Every year we don't have an audit, and that we got pricing for that, and we used the same people who did our audit, and they the fee they gave us was $7,000. Now what happens is we pay for that up front, and then CA will use their discretion, but they, I guess unless something is dramatically wrong or it takes an exorbitant amount of time, they would reimburse us. But Debbie, our accountant, was going to get clarification from Jackie Tuma as far as how we represent that in the budget, if we put it in even as an expense and then put it in as revenue as well. She was going to get clarification. So that might what am I trying to say? That might change it a little bit.
Alter.
Alter,
Alters.
yeah, it's been a long day, sorry.
Sorry.
Utilities, for obvious reasons, I did increase our gas and electric line to keep up with rising costs. And under repairs and maintenance, you'll see that it's a pretty high number, and the reason is, if you recall, I mentioned with some of our money from that we were predicted to have available at the end of the fourth quarter, I had tried to get in the interior painting of the other barn. So we got a quote, I had it all set up, and then they let us know that it would take 3 full weeks to do the entire painting. And unfortunately, between now and the end of April, even frankly, between now and the end of summer, we don't have 3 full weeks where we don't have something going on. And at night it would be okay, on the weekends it's okay, but even during the day, which is when they would be in here painting, because outside of those hours, of course, they charge more money. So the earliest I had was November, so I've tentatively put on hold. I asked CA if the quote that was given to us would still be good, and they were going to check on that, but basically that's what's included in that repairs and maintenance. That's where CA indicated to include it. So those were the major changes. Everything else, there was somewhat a slight increase if I felt it was necessary. Our special events budget this year, we didn't make as much of a profit, but I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, that was kind of a fluke, and I don't expect it to happen again. So I do feel confident. We've tried some new advertising measures, and just case in point, the concert on Sunday, we sold all but 4 tickets.
Good.
So.
Good.
So any other questions you might have, just let me know.
I have one, and I think I've asked this before, and I just forget year after year.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Nice, you're
is-
consistent.
Yeah, why is the excess cash payment to CA in our revenues instead of expenses? If that's outgoing cash.
Jonathan, I don't have an answer to that question. That line item has always been there, and as long as I've been here, it's been 0, so,
Okay. But we have had to make payments in the past.
we
So
have, yeah, and
does-
why would it be in revenue?
Does the bookkeeper enter that as a negative? Because otherwise it would inflate our total income.
I would say that, for me, I would say that it was revenue because it's money that
Extra money.
we made, but I see why you would say it's expense because we have to give it
Yeah.
back.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, it would be double
Yeah.
counted because we made that money in one of these other line items and it's accounted for there. So unless it's put in as a negative here to net it out, we're actually overstating our income. I don't even know that necessarily that's an expense. Maybe it does belong here, but maybe it would be recorded as a negative value, so it nets out.
Yeah.
If it's a positive value, it won't work. It's not going to add up right.
Right, okay.
It's probably a negative value then.
Yeah, I'm confident it is a negative value,
Okay.
but I will ask Debbie for a definite explanation of
Okay.
that. And you actually don't ask that question every year.
I thought okay.
No, you ask another question, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm going to see if we can ask that.
Oh, well, maybe I don't have any other
I
questions.
know there are different methods of accounting, like several different, well, you probably, but yeah, so whatever method they're using, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, we're cash. Yeah, it must go into negative. I'm just not used to seeing a value in there, but
Well, interestingly, we have to zero out our budget according to the new management contract. So it used to be when I first started doing the budget that we could be in the negative. So it probably, I feel like that was a question when it said we have to zero out our budget. I feel like one of the village managers asked that question, well, how do we do that when we have that line item in there. So I'll have to check on that.
All right. Any other questions?
I'm not an expert on it. The only thing that line says to me, that says if you exceed your excess cash, that's when you have to give it
Right.
back, and then they use it for great
Right.
projects around your village.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know about it, so I don't know why it'd be a positive or a negative there. I just know the purpose of it.
It's revenue that we have to get back, but it comes back when it's supposed to come back.
Yes.
All right, so this comes back for a vote at the next
Yes.
meeting
Yes.
to ensure that OMCA goes into fiscal '27, which begins May 1st,
Yes.
with a budget enacted, so.
Yeah, so if Debbie, I'll ask her that question, but when she gets back to me about the audit line, as far as if it needs to be put into revenue
Okay.
as well, I will certainly, and let you know of any changes that are made.
All right, any other questions? Okay, thanks, Brigitte. Moving right along. The investment policy, which we talked about briefly at the last meeting, and is also in the packet. I think at the last meeting, when we looked over what CA was requiring, we kind of determined that much of, if not all of what they were requiring, we were already doing in terms of, kind of diversifying a bit, having, money in CD, not having it all in a checking account, and I think our CD had a 9-month term, so Brigitte was just going to go back and take another look and
Yes.
send us the, proposed final copy of the investment policy statement. And if we vote in favor of it tonight, we'll date it, and Brigitte and I will sign off on it, and then we will have an investment policy that pretty much codifies what we already do.
Pretty much.
Anything you want to add to that? I mean, I've read through it. I don't know how much more to say about it.
I just made the number changes that Jonathan mentioned.
Yeah.
So, as I said I would.
No, I read through it and said, I think we already do this, and then I saw your email, Jonathan, saying that, and I said, okay, it's good.
All right. Any discussion? Any questions?
No.
All right. Is there a motion to adopt the investment policy statement as submitted? I'll take the motion from Bill and the second from Andrew. Any further discussion? Dan's already voting.
Yeah.
All right. All in favor? 1, 2, 3. Dan's still giving thumbs up. 4. Oh, now we're moving around. And 5.
Oh, we got two floating ones.
5. We got
That's so
floating
exciting.
thumbs everywhere.
Yep, these are cool.
All right.
So basically what happens to it, I just keep it on file and I indicate to CA that we have
We have one,
And we
yeah.
have to vote on it
Yeah.
every year.
Available upon request.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Board chair report. Couple of things. One, I guess it's the Oakland Mills High PTA, pretty much driven by their president. The whole board wasn't there, at least the first meeting, has put together a meeting to discuss kind of next steps with what to do in terms of the renovations to the school or lack thereof. So I attended the first meeting. Brigitte tried to attend, but they didn't send her the link. And then the link I thought I sent her didn't go through, so Brigitte never got on. But, we talked about other things we can do. And one of the things I proposed that I still need to pursue is see if we can really, get a better understanding of how this weird formula works. So I'm going to try to do a Maryland Public Information Act request, not to the county, but to the state, to the Interagency on School Construction, because they're not responsible for the formula, but that's the group that actually goes in and assesses all the school buildings in the state on like this 3-year revolving cycle. And what I'd like to get from them is like this comprehensive list of all the school facilities in the Howard County Public School System, along with what their scoring is. Because then we can look at all that and not worry about whatever this formula is and say, okay, you know, where does Oakland Mills score in what should be at least be a consistent, you know, methodology for assessing buildings relative to other buildings in the system? And honestly, what I'm most interested in is not where does Oakland Mills score relative to other buildings of similar age and construction, but where does it score relative to these much newer buildings that somehow in this formula rank higher for renovation? Like I want to see how they scored Marriott's Ridge versus Oakland Mills or Reservoir versus Oakland Mills. So that's my takeaway. They were supposed to have another meeting this past Thursday. They had actually emailed me about it. You put it in the newsletter, and then I got held up late at work, but when I got home, I could have joined, but I went through my emails because they were supposed to confirm it. And the last email was just talking about maybe having it, but there was never an email confirming it. So if it happened, I never joined it because I realized it was in the newsletter after the fact. But did they have it? Were you
I don't
able to
know.
join it?
I meant to go and then I
Okay.
got caught up in something and by the time I realized, I was like, oh man. So no, I didn't go.
Okay.
But I was planning on it and then I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a little group of us that have an email thing going on. And I definitely went back to the emails and looked. And, the last email was, it sounds like most of us should be available Thursday. Let's aim for that. And then there was never okay, we're confirmed for Thursday. Here's the Zoom link or anything.
Yeah, it was announced somewhere in probably the high school news or something like that. That's where I got it from. So it was sent out.
Okay.
It wasn't
I
just
missed that
a
one.
thing that I.
Well, I don't even know how you deal with the high school news anymore. I can't stand what they've done with that. Where you get an email and then you have to follow a link to see the
Oh,
newsletter.
the s'mores thing?
Yeah,
Like,
extra.
all the schools are doing this s'mores newsletter, and I think that they're getting all their flyers off of S'more too.
They must have contracted.
It's like AI.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, another thing. So while we have our CA friend here, I know we had inquired about our rock garden signs on Stevens Forest and Broken Land, and I fully support CA's efforts to keep everyone safe. I'm totally fine with that. I kind of waited on, do we want to invite them in to discuss other options until I saw what happened in the spring. So I was driving along on the nice weekend spring day, and at Stevens Forest and Broken Land, there's our rock garden. And then right on the median is the Owen Brown sign with beautiful yellow flowers. And then at Cradle Rock and Broken Land, Cradle Rock, I guess, south in Broken Land, there's another sign with beautiful flowers. So I'm still not understanding why our little corners on Broken Land are dangerous,
Drive up on
but we
this-
can still have flowers in the median and we can still have flowers
They
at
drive up
that.
on the median though to do stuff.
They can drive up on our corners too. I mean, BGE drives up there all the time.
So my understanding, and again, they can probably explain it better than I had this in the email, is something changed with rules on roads above a certain amount, they have to rent like a truck to protect the staff. And so certain places where they have to rent a truck now to put behind the vehicles in case somebody drives into it, that's where they've been putting more of the rock, because then they don't need to put staff out there as often. But
No,
don't know the difference.
I get it, and I'm all for it. What I'd like them to explain though is what makes that different than literally the median of Broken Land Parkway, where you have that big intersection, right? They've got flowers there, and then you go up to Cradle Rock, Cradle Rock South, right, where it gets busier because you also have the intersection
It's the
with the office
elevation,
building and
you said.
everything, and.
The elevation of it, because
All right,
ours
well,
are up on.
bottom line, I want them to explain, and I want something nicer than a rock garden, because our covenants don't allow rock gardens in Oakland Mills, so why would we have a rock garden as our gateway when our residents can't have a rock garden in their yard?
Yeah, Chris said he's happy to come out if
Yeah.
you guys invite him.
It's something like ground cover the flowers.
Right.
Needs very little maintenance. You get ground cover in there, low maintenance, and their ground covers will flower at different times of the year. Do something like that, so it's very little expense on CA's part, and it still really looks nice.
All right. And then for our county friends who are listening in, if you're out there, I actually did a C click fix ticket many months ago that got closed out and archived, and I've seen a couple of other pop up on Stevens Forest Road, like up by Stevens Forest Elementary, approaching the village center, and also on the south end of Camelback Lane. At those two sites, and there could be others, there are still orange construction, like road pattern change signs from when the 7-Eleven is built, and residents, including myself, have put in tickets to have those things removed, and they just get closed out and ignored. So can we have someone come out and remove the signs, because they're kind of misleading. They're basically telling people that lanes are shifting and certain things are closed when they're open, and none of that's true anymore. Stevens Forest Road is fully open again.
Yeah, Jonathan Spicky. So I can send an email to Chris tomorrow, DPW.
Okay.
So this is I got Stevens Forest Elementary, and then I didn't get the other piece.
So I know I'd have to go. I know there's one, like, as you're coming northbound on Stevens Forest, you pass Stevens Forest Elementary, and somewhere along there is an orange sign that basically says that I believe there's a lane closure or lane shift ahead.
Lane shift, yeah.
There's another one on the north end of Camelback Lane as you're approaching the four-way stop, that says that there's road construction or a lane shift ahead. I'm honestly not remembering if there are others at this point. I'd probably have to take a walk, but
I have put in the one back, because I've had numerous residents reach out to me, and I've done it multiple times.
yeah, and I saw the Lays did too, because I saw one come in from them. So yeah, but
Okay.
they're just getting, for whatever reason, they're just getting closed out and archived. They're not getting worked.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Can I add one?
Sure.
Okay, I will, I'll follow up with Chris tomorrow. I'll send an email out and see what kind of response I get from him, okay? And then I'll let you
And Bill
know.
has something too.
Okay, and Vicky, if you could please, there was a ticket that Sandy Cedarbaum put in. She's been gone for a few years now as our village manager. And it's when you're on Stevens Forest Road and you turn onto Kilimanjaro, and there is a quadruplex development immediately on the left, and you have to take a left turn across that median on Kilimanjaro to get into that quadruplex development. In the median beyond that turn, there are trees, bushes in the median that totally block the line of sight for the driver who wants to turn into that development. Oncoming traffic, they can't see. The bushes, the trees are there. They need to either be taken out or pruned up about 8-10 feet so you get clear sight line. And the other side of that is that if you are on Kilimanjaro and you have passed the high school, past the middle school, you're heading toward the Stevens Forest intersection, then in the median, there's the break for the people turning in from from Kilimanjaro into that quadruplex development. The people who are going to go straight on Kilimanjaro to Stevens Forest Road, they can't see that left turning vehicle until it's too late. And that has been there for years. And I brought it up, Sandy put in the ticket. It has been ignored. It's a major safety issue. And either the bushes, trees need to be removed, or the canopy needs to be raised 8 to 10 feet. So if you could please point that out to Chris, I'd really appreciate it for the safety of Oakland Mills residents and drivers. Thank you.
Okay, now are these two separate areas? Because I got a little confused here. Are we talking about one area where the trees and bushes need to be?
One area, it's in the median. It's in the median of Kilimanjaro.
Okay, got it.
It's the first median break on Kilimanjaro coming eastbound from Stevens Forest.
And that complex is Cinnamon Tree that they're trying to turn into.
Now I'm not even sure exactly what the plans are, but that whole thing's about to be reconfigured anyway because of the middle school construction, because of the new loop and
Bus
parking
loop.
lot and everything, yeah. But in the meantime, if it were
Yes.
at least pruned, then whatever they're
Well,
gonna do in
especially because they
the
have students
future.
walking in that area too.
Oh, yes.
You don't want to have an accident and it pushes into like
Nope.
pedestrians or anything like that.
Okay, I will get that out tomorrow.
Thank you, Becky.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
That's all I had. Any questions for me?
Oh, one observation. Oak Mills High School. To me, my priority if I was Oak Mills High School would be, we need to get 2 Oak Mills High School teachers to run for at-large Board of Education positions, so we can get 2 more votes in the Board of Ed. And then the next election, for our district, we need to get another person from the high school in there so that we have a representative who votes for and not against the high school. That's what needs to be done. To heaven with all the rigmarole, let's get the votes and get this thing fixed. Thank you.
Are they allowed to do that?
I don't think so. I think they'd have to give up their,
Yeah.
Teaching position, well,
Positions,
hey,
but-
that's good. They'll be doing something for the school. Take one for the team.
A teacher can't be on the Board of Education.
It's a conflict of interest.
Well, yep, then they just aren't on they turn in their teaching
Okay.
and become a Board of Ed member and have real power to really help the school. They'll affect more than just their classroom.
I think the teachers would know the school system best, so that even though it's a conflict of interest, that the ones that deal with it every day. But yeah, I guess if it is what it is, then that's what it is.
To me, there'd be no conflict of interest. It's all interest in Oak Mills. There's no conflict. There's no conflict to other high schools. It's all Oak Mills. Thank you.
okay. Brigida, updates.
So I shared with you, nope, that's not what I wanted to share. Just kidding. Sorry, there it is. We've had a lot of events since our last meeting. The estate planning workshop we had a lot of people sign up, only a few people here, but I have to say it was one of the best workshops that I've ever been to. It was great, and the people that were here, I feel like, including myself, really benefited from the information. We did have the Jazz in the Mills concert, a lot of good feedback. We have some new people that have been attending, and like I said, we sold all but 4 tickets, so that was a really good, everything went well with that. Our next event is Friday, April 17th. Pam Kindersinger, she's our last performer for this year's Lively Arts. We have a preschool group coming, so we already have pretty many people that will be there. That's always fun when there's a large group. And on Saturday, April 25th, even though we are not having voting, Yards Alive will be here to do a native plant giveaway, and also CA is giving us 100 native perennials that we will also be giving away on a first come, first served basis. And then Amy and I, really more Amy, has been cleaning out all the crafts from the closet. So we're kind of doing a recycle and use up all of the miscellaneous crafts for kids that come by.
Houses too.
And some burnt houses, yeah, a little bit of everything. And then of course, one of my favorites, our flower sale will be on May 2nd. All those weekends are 1, 2, 3, so we'll be busy.
Is
But
it a 2? I think it's 1, isn't it?
oh, it should be 9 a.m. to 1. Good eye. I think I was thinking May 2nd.
You want to work longer?
I just want to be here longer. Thanks to Amy as well. I'm sure you all have seen the new website. Again, a lot of positive feedback. I've heard it's very user-friendly. People really like the look of it. There's a couple of glitches still in it that Amy's been tirelessly trying to figure out. But we're getting there, and I'm really happy with it, and I think Amy's happy with everything regarding it too. I told you about Talbot Springs, so we're kind of waiting to hear from Josh, but any feedback you all might have on the designs, please let me know. I think he was going to try to give them like any feedback by next week. And then I had told you about the other barn interior painting. I did want to let you know that today I attended, I don't know what it was titled, but it was a training seminar, workshop over at Association of Community Services on giving feedback and receiving feedback. It was an incredible presentation. The gentleman who gave the presentation apparently was a professional basketball player and actor, and now he's in organizational leadership. But besides all that, it was a very interactive workshop and just very informative. So I really enjoyed it, and I signed up to do a leadership resiliency course in April. It's partly in April and partly in May. So I'm excited about that as well.
Was that Roy Hubbard?
No, his name was Mark Alexander II.
Okay.
Mark
Yeah.
Alexander II. Sounds
Yeah, he
familiar.
played basketball in Germany, apparently, not for the NBA. But it was just, you know, I've been to different presentations, and sometimes they're just talking, and at some point you stop receiving. But it was really a good back and forth, and it was really, there was probably about 25 people in the room. It was very much like people were giving feedback, and then he would target things according to what they were saying. So it was very helpful, and I'm definitely going to use some of those suggestions and information that he provided in various ways. And also for myself as far as receiving feedback. So, and that's all I have, I think.
Comment?
Oh, sure.
Talbot Springs. I like the layout, new layout, because it opens up one big, huge open space so they could use it for a big group, and that if they wanted to have smaller areas, they can use freestanding partitions to partition it off, or bookcases, whatever, to separate certain smaller areas for use. So it's very flexible. Whereas the current design, you've got kind of offices and restrooms in the middle, and it really cuts down on, in my opinion, the usability of the space.
I would agree, and I think that's what they were going for, and I know that was Ellen's comment, and that was kind of what I thought too. So yeah, I would agree.
Good.
All right,
Thank
any
you.
other questions or comments for Brigitte?
Nope.
Okay, committee reports. Andrew, anything architecture?
No, this month was quiet. I think the whole month we had like 5 applications, so nothing here.
Okay. Education, I kind of gave an update with board chair, so I'll pass. Bill, housing?
Yes, housing, because of my operation, everything, I didn't hold meetings in February. We had a housing meeting last night. The issue is turnout. I only had 4 of us there. I switched the nights to get more people, and it wound up less, okay? But I'm working, and I'm getting a lot of good work, and as Emily said last night, good things happen in small groups informally. So we actually had the meeting out in the waiting area out there, so that went well. And then open space, we'll roll right into that. Our next open space meeting is next Monday night. So we're making progress, getting there.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
if I know about it soon enough, I didn't see it. I'll put it in the e-news.
Okay,
I think I'm doing the e-news tomorrow, so I can put the one for Monday.
thank you.
I did add it in the last time.
You did?
I
Okay.
did when I reviewed it. Yeah,
Great,
Yeah,
thank
because
you.
I didn't realize.
it had just happened that day. I think.
Dr. Dan, public space?
I have no updates. I have just been trying to stay awake from night shift, so
All
I
right,
had to
well,
wake up just for this. So
we'll have you to sleep soon.
Yes.
I'm not saying the meeting's going to end, but we'll have you to sleep
We'll bore you to death, Dan.
soon. All right, Paulette, anything tenant? Paulette, tenant?
She might have already gone to sleep.
She's already asleep.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not asleep. No, I don't have anything.
Okay. That reminds me, I don't remember the exact quote, I'm going to paraphrase, but apparently someone once came up to Bob Ross, the Joy of Painting guy, Happy Trees, and said, I hope this doesn't offend you, but I tune in your show and it puts me to sleep. It helps relax me that much. And he said, well, I'm very happy that you've never made it through to the end of one of my shows. Like, hey, as long as you're enjoying it, I'm glad. Okay, we're actually not adjourning yet. We're going to do the board bulletin board so that those who don't want to stick around to hear the outcome of a closed session don't have to. But after the bulletin board, we are going to do a closed session where we'll have to clear the room of everyone but our manager and members of the board. And then we will, at the end of the closed session, reopen the meeting, invite back anyone who chose to stick around to hear what the outcome of the closed session was, and then we will officially adjourn the meeting. But so as not to keep anyone who is not waiting in bated anticipation for the outcome of the closed session, we'll do the bulletin board now, so you don't miss that part of open meeting, and then we'll go to the closed session. So after that lengthy explanation, I'm going to ask Amy, because she's had plenty of time to think while I ramble on, if she has anything for the bulletin board.
Because we are waiting with bated breath. I hate that phrase, by the way. No, I don't have anything to say.
After all that setup. Brigitte?
No, I don't have anything either.
Bill?
Nope, and I'm not bored.
Me neither, and me neither. Andrew?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Paulette?
Nothing.
Okay. Dr. Dan?
Nada.
Nada. All right. So we do have a matter that would require a closed session pursuant to the Maryland Homeowners Association Act. The board will meet in closed session for the discussion of matters pertaining to employees and personnel. We cannot go to closed session without a vote. So is there a motion to close? I'll take a motion from Andrew, second from Bill. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0,
Oh,
0.
we got the popcorn again. How does that happen?
I don't know, we don't have.
So that was at 7:57 p.m. with a motion by Andrew, second by Bill. Everyone voting in favor.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Marty.
Okay.
Come back in at the end.
Okay, so we are going to put anyone who's not a member of the board. Oh, okay, they
I
left.
need to get out of here.
So we just need Amy to get out of
I
here
need
and
to
then
stop recording already.
close the door. Yes, stop recording, please.